So you clicked on this video to see how I built 4 identical sawhorses out of some old reclaimed steel. Usually in my videos I like to streamline them and cut out a lot of the extra fluff because I know you are using a lot of the same techniques in your shop, but I thought on this one I would leave in a lot of the extra thought processes and techniques that go into even a very basic project like this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any additional tips or tricks, as always, leave them down below. Thank you and enjoy the video.
I have these I-beams right here that I rescued from a mobile home pitch, and I took what was salvageable out of them. And then I also have this square tubing right here that a customer dropped off. We did a project for him, some railing out of it, but you can see a lot of this stuff was way too bent. So this was all stuff that was salvaged from a shipping company. And what the shipping company would do is lock their loads in with this. I guess they would wedge it all between the pallets and then strap it. And so a lot of it would get bent. You can see it's just a 095 1.5 by 1.5 square tube. So I used all the really good stuff on his project, and then he said he didn't want any of it back, so all of that kind of landed in my lap, and we're knocking a few personal projects out with it. So I cut the legs right there out of it, and we're gonna go ahead and get these assembled.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these together as a tripod sawhorse. 2 legs on one side, 1 on the other. That eliminates all rocking or movement on uneven surfaces. Kind of a foolproof way of doing it. So with these things being a 2.25 by 8. Flange 2.25, the web is 8 inches, and that's going to give me a little bit of adjustment as far as final height. So let's go ahead and line this up. So what I've done is I've lined this up on this 90 degree here. This is emulating the ground, and this is going to tell me what my work height is. So I'm 29 from top of leg to the ground. I think a very general rule of thumb is you want to be able to rest your palms or your closed fist on your work surface. I prefer my welding tables tall, so that's not a good example. So let's go ahead and close our fist. Let's see what we're at here. I'm showing 29/30-ish on that also. So if I do go ahead and put this leg right up and underneath that flange, what I can do is I can come through here with a cross support right on the bottom of that lower flange, and I can hit both these legs. Otherwise what I can do is I can come further down with the cross support and maybe hit. This isn't a bad layout either because I can weld here as well as 3 sides of that leg, especially if I hold back about 1 inch. That's going to be 29 plus 3.5, so that's about a 32.5 inch final work height. That's not terrible. I think I can live with that. I think that's the route I'm going to go. About like that. I like that. Yep. Got That's the hot ticket. Let's go ahead and prep all of our surfaces. Once I get this first one built, then I can pull measurement for front leg and cross brace and get those going on the saw. All right, I think I'm gonna hold back off this edge. Maybe, let's call it 2 inches. Let's call it 1.5 inches. I'm gonna hold back off that edge 1.5 inches. Let's call that 24 3/4. Man, I'm really happy with the way that bandsaw is cutting. Couple of thoughts here. Just pulled it off the table, set it on the ground. This was the most extreme angle that my bandsaw could cut. I wish those were not quite so wide. That's a very wide stance. And the other thing is I'm going to add a 45-degree gusset there. I'm going to add a cross brace there, and then I think since these legs are hollow and a lot of my work area out there is dirt, I think I'm going to go ahead and add little squares on the bottom to cap them off, prevent them from seeking into the dirt. So a couple of little details to finish up yet. So I traced out the angle that I need for that cross brace. And go ahead and get the saw set here. I'm not real happy with that fit up. This needs to be a little bit more extreme of an angle. The other thing is, I think if I shorten it a little, then I'll have enough material to come up here with another 45 off this cross brace. Okay, I cut a square end on these earlier today. I thought it was going to give me a little cleaner of a look here. Well, I don't doubt that that thing could probably support a couple thousand pounds. My only regret is that wide stance right there. But they're not too heavy. All recycled material. We'll shoot a nice coat of paint on them. And I think that's going to be a win for the shop. Okay, I'm going to finish this one out, and I've got all the parts cut to build 2 additionals. That'll give me 4 matching sawhorses. Now I wanted to just really quickly touch on the big advantage of a digital angle finder in a situation like this. Now, when you're working with salvage metal like this, which is certainly far from our normal standard of straight, it's kind of hard to level everything and then work off of a bubble level. As you can see, we're way out of level right now, and we're sitting on a perfectly level welding table. So with a digital angle finder, all I need to do is make a notation of what I'm reading here, which is going to be the ground, and I'm at 0.08 down,
there's a little arrow here that's either going to point up or down depending on what way you're out, and I'm at 0.8 down. And now all I need to do for this to be level to the ground is I need to mimic that here, like I said, as opposed to trying to shim this until it's level on the bubble and then leveling this while it's sitting on a perfectly level table. Like I said, this is secondhand steel and it's far from our normal standard of straight. We're repurposing a lot of it, but you're going to see this bubble, or you're going to see this digital level shine. So there we go, 0.08, 0.07. I mean, now we're really splitting degrees, literally. So that's well within our allowable tolerance. I can go ahead and get that welded up and know that it, once it's flipped over, is going to be perfect to the ground. I'm using the 210 MP. I've got it set on 5/16. It's running 20 volts at 360 inches per minute. And I'm welding this 095 tubing. The beam here is 1/8. Nice thing about running it that fast is the speed that I can weld this out at. So as you can see, this is all tacked, it's all mocked, but it's not final welded. So I think I'm gonna throw you guys on time lapse. I'm gonna quick weld that out, jump around to prevent a lot of heat buildup, but it's really gonna allow me to weld that out really fast. You definitely have to keep moving or you're gonna punch right through, but yeah, it sure speeds the process up. All right, let's go ahead and start the stopwatch. And done. Timer says 6 minutes, 10 seconds. Go ahead and get the flip pads on there, and this one is done. These can go out and get dressed with the grinder. We'll shoot them with a nice thick coat of an enamel, and they can go into service. Okay, sorry, we had some weather move in, and we've got a little lull between rain showers, and you can see here the finished product. Turned out really great. Shot them with a Rust-Oleum. If you haven't seen any of those paint videos, I use the exact same techniques that I show in my paint tutorials on how to make Rust-Oleum a 2K paint. So looking forward to employing those in the future. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.